Hello everybody, Skyraid here, back again with another Diablo Immortal video. Alright, it's unfortunately that time yet again, as in, there are leaks all over the place. Speculations galore, rumor mill, all that kind of thing. We're gonna go ahead and jump into it too. I usually don't like doing these kind of things, but unfortunately at this point, it's pretty much unavoidable. If you haven't seen it elsewhere, well, if you have already, either way, I'm going to touch on all these things here and give my thoughts on everything and what we will expect. I'm honestly starting to feel like whenever this stuff kind of, quote, leaks out, it's more or less done on purpose, more so than anything else at this point, to kind of keep the ball rolling and kind of keep interest, so to speak. But it's just kind of unfortunate that, I don't know. I'm still in the mindset of I'd rather be more pleasantly surprised by certain things instead of, well, in today's day and age, of course, of the internet, social media, and so on and so forth, that we get this stuff way before it happens, and then it kind of, I don't know, it diminishes certain things of that in that regard. But anyway, nonetheless, here we go. One thing for sure that we will be getting, and it has been already posted on Reddit if you haven't already seen it. We don't have it here yet, but it is not this. It is Mirror Jewel. Mirror Jewel apparently is going to be coming back around just in time for Black Friday. That kind of thing, I guess. I don't know how I feel about it being at the very end of the month this time because, well, next month we may or may not get it again, of course. And if we do, it will probably be around, I guess, the holiday season of Christmas and so on and so forth. So take that for what you will. Let me go ahead and show you the post here on Reddit. They have it already up, and this was recently posted. We're just those of us here, of course, in the States, depending on what time zone you are in, of course, as soon as whenever your reset time is going to happen, then look for it. It should be there. So that is that for Mirror Jewel. That is not necessarily a rumor. That is pretty much a for sure thing. So I appreciate this one a day ahead. But other than that, anything else that we're going to cover here, again, I'd like to be more pleasantly surprised. But unfortunately, we're stuck with that all over the place right now. And it is what it is. So let's go ahead and get into it now. Okay, here we go. This is the image, if you haven't seen it floating around already, and segmented off. Pretty simple to explain here. But before we get into this one, let me go ahead and go back to yet another one. Oh, actually, no. Here's the post itself on Reddit, of which a lot of the content creators, which I wouldn't be surprised that they have the partner program guys. That is, I would not be surprised in the least bit if they had this already somewhere in their notes, if they were handed anything from the the developers ahead of time, which is what they get stuff for whenever patch notes and stuff come out, so that way they can immediately release them whenever they get the time stamp clear, so that way their videos are already done and ready to go, so they get that advantage. So I would not be surprised in the least bit that this is also a kind of a slip out there to try to, of course, entice and get some excitement back towards the game, whatever that may be at this point, honestly. But yeah, here it is. This is also on the Reddit post as well, so this is the image that we're going to cover here and go into talking about. But before we get into that one more time, there was this one here. There's this one here that's already I've seen discussed as well. We're covering all the things. We're covering all the nonsense that's like leaking like a sieve all over the place right now. So let's if everybody else is doing it, why can't we, kind of thing. Cranberry reference there, but here we go. New update, rumor mill, not leaks. Okay, this is the rumor mill here, of course, the new flame wolf pet. Well, this thing's been floating around for years. Ever since, or maybe right before even the familiars officially got introduced into the game, that one's been floating around for a while. So, kind of just look at that one and kind of still laugh about it, right? Okay, players can name main pet, and it'll be shown in different colors I don't know about that. That sounds very, very far-fetched as well, so take that for what you will, honestly. Some people have been asking for it, which is kind of weird. But nonetheless, I mean, I get it. We refer to them as pets anyway, so why can't we name them? Well, there you go. Whether that happens or not, again, this is the rumor mill here. Ruby and Tourmaline stats will add critical hit chance or damage to make them more useful. This, I think, is still kind of grasping at straws, hoping it gets hope because, you know, of how low in platinum price that the red gems have fallen for quite forever now at this point, obviously. And people, I think, this is more or less, I think, market copium. This is market copium, I do believe, as far as this goes. And at this point, anybody's like, oh, please, anything to get more platinum out of these things at this point. Come on, we need platinum for the normal gems. And again, market copium. This was also kind of whenever they would do those special gems that they had beta tested briefly, ever so briefly, and then immediately squashed the idea of having those gems having multiple, the normal gems having multiple effects. A lot of players, of course, and rightfully so, view that as too much of a gap in a lot of ways, and then also going a little too heavy-handed into certain stats of things of that nature. So yeah, I'm still on the fence on this one. However, I will say it is not too far out of the realm of possibility at this point. So this one I would lean a little bit more into a maybe. Sadly enough, and nasty enough, I'd rather not see that happen again. But time will only tell on that one. It is possible, of course, but again, I feel like it's more market copium than anything else here, so we'll just kind of leave it at that. A new time of charm will have 2 slots to add 1 old charm and 1 gem slot, but only to add rezo, not gem stat. Oh, come on. This one, who knows? That sounds really far-fetched as well. This one, I'm probably going to count off number 4. If it happens, that's going to be kind of crazy stupid. We don't need more resonance in the game. There is already enough gap as there is across the board with all players, and yeah, I don't know. And especially if it's not adding a gem stat, then why would there be a point in it? So that one I'm going to pretty much discredit. All right, let's go back to the actual leaks now. Well, now the leaks, so, you know, of everything. In this image, well, let's just straight up. Here's the Reddit post. I'm going to move this out of the way and put the bigger image on and then cover it that way. So here we go. There it is. Okay. So as you can see in the far left top upper corner is new gem. Probably a new 5-star gem, and just in time, of course, for the last quarter of the year and for the holiday season. Per usual, so this is probably going to happen, as I pretty much had speculated on this one already, and, well, here it is. And that's why, another reason we have the short gem surge event right now ongoing, as we had the last time. The last time we had this was right before, I forget which one it was in between, but, you know, that's why we have, where's it at? Oh yeah, this one right now, the gem surge that's going on to, well, when we're getting the next major update, the 16th. So how timely that is, more than likely we'll get yet another gem surge event, which will go up to the, where you can turn it into a 5 out of 5 star with the new gem, and maybe one other one. Not sure what that one's going to be, but we'll wait and see. But that's what's going to happen, more than likely. We'll get a new 5-star gem, and it's going to be in the next gem surge, which will go up to 5 stars and not just 4, and will probably go on for longer than just a month, obviously. And that's what we have to expect with that. Okay, going back to it again. Who knows what this one's going to be? Obviously, it has to be just as strong as Haunt Coil, Roiling, Colossus Engine, and Bloodflow. So we're now up to number 5 of the most recent gem 5 stars that will be released, and this one has to fall into that realm of strength in some way, shape, or form of the other ones We'll just have to wait and see what it's going to be. Who knows? We might even get, of course, yet even more leaks and speculations over what the actual abilities of it will be. And I guess I will chime in as soon as I can on that one too. So again, like I said, here we are. It's unavoidable. Leaks all over the place. This is what we've come to expect because this last patch was, you know, pretty much just kind of there, and people are really grasping at straws in this one and try to keep the flow going, so to speak, on things, and they just can't help themselves. They just can't help themselves, and they're like, oh, please, there's got to be something. There's got to be something. All right. Now the right side, the right top side, as you can see, Lich King, as I made mention of in the previous video, of course. Save up your telluric fragments. Save up your telluric fragments. I'm reiterating that point yet again, because, well, that's going to be for a possible return of the Morn Skull gem, the 2-star gem, to be able to be crafted yet again the easier way, instead of burning telluric pearls unnecessarily, if you want to have a go at it and build that one up. That's what I'm hoping to see happen, because it has been long enough. They're re-bringing this event over again, and if you didn't see the most recent change to that, of course, here, well, let's rehash that real quick. It's under Clash of Saviors. We are now showing the transmog weapons in these little gems here. So this is the progress we've made on the 1127 bar, and yeah, so there are the transmog skins that we had from the previous crossover wow event that we had before, and it's just coming back around with all the iterations probably. So Morn Skull should be back in the mix, like I said in that video, and save your telluric fragments for crafting that one up instead. All right, so there's that one. Let's look at, well, the next one, of course, would be, well, the segment to the left below the 5-star gem. That is definitely the increase in difficulty. So because we're getting Inferno 10, 11, and 12, surprisingly no stat crunch yet. That is, no stat crunch as of yet. We might get some other information on that one. We're still going deep, much more deep. We got 10 levels, or no, 12, excuse me. We'll have now 12 levels in the Inferno difficulty, which is kind of crazy. But those are going to be the Helicory bosses, the new Helicory bosses, the new Helicory raids. Of course, we have to have something of that nature. So that's what that is going to entail, right? And I want to make a note on this right now, too, because let's look at our Paragons, right? I finished the Hero's Journey most recently with Paragon, right? For Paragon points, you had to put in, like, I think 1,140 Paragon points to finish off your Paragon, your Hero Journey. This is something that I don't believe is being talked about just yet. Okay? Because, well, let's face it, as of right now, where I am at, I am now on to the last and final, which a lot of us are, a last and final legendary skill, which will use 80 Paragon points. Okay? To max it out, and we will only be getting you know, the last bit of extra stats from it. But what then? We haven't had a new Paragon actual tree of any kind for any other abilities in quite a while. Who knows if they have that left in their development creative juices to go and put forth another one. However, this game is all about Paragon levels. All the Diablo games are all about Paragon. What do we have to look forward to after that? There has to be something. Paragon's a big deal. And this is the last one, and we only have 80 points left to spend on it. So they got to come up with something. Whether it be more legendary skills, that would be an easier cop-out for them, and I actually see that kind of happening. But other than that, I don't know. I think the trees, honestly, might be done the more I think about it, and we'll probably, at best, get more of these, because they don't give quite as much stats overall that these did entirely, but they still gave some stats, and yeah, so I see us possibly getting this instead. So there's that to consider, there's that to think about, because they have to be doing something, because we're just going to be gaining Paragon levels for no other reason, and then have no points to put them in after we put in the last 80 here. So, anyway. Alright. Now, Charcy. Some people have lovingly already referred to her as Muscle Mommy Charcy in this image. But anyway, as you can see, there is what looks like armor. It looks like a chest piece on the top of the table. So speculation is, of course, for that one, the, well, ancient chest piece armor now as well. I see that being a thing, which is fine, I guess. It does kind of dumb down our overall stats by splitting them into 4 stats. It does actually pull back on our stats by making them, when you're splitting them up to all 4 stats, it does lower them. So take that for what you will. Obviously, the magic affixes to them are usually very good. But I don't know how I feel about this, because you're really limiting our ancient shards. If there is going to be the chess pieces added in, I really hope that it's not in the same shard fragment pool that the helmets are currently, because if that's the case, then we have to pick one or the other, and that kind of sucks. So I don't know if they're only allowing us to wear one or the other because these are ancient legendaries and they're supposed to be, top of the top. I kind of understand that to a point, but at the same time, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see in that one. We'll have to wait and see how they're going to really approach this when it gets closer to it, right? When it gets closer to it. But that's my thoughts on that one as it stands so far right now. It is going to be very, very rough if they are in the same ancient shard pool for collecting over time. And now the only thing that would help that even more, of course, is we get really, really, really lucky with the RNG drops, which as of late, I haven't really heard or seen anybody getting those lately for the ancient helmets, so who knows. And of course, in the middle, pretty simple. We're getting more of the continuation of the story. I don't know if this is the final segment of it with the Albrecht series right now. Who knows, they could extend that even further or branch off into something else. But yeah, that's what that's going to be. That's pretty much simple, straightforward for what it is. That's to be expected, and it's really no surprise at this point. So that covers everything what we're going to get probably in the next major updates ahead of time. Like I said, leaks all over the place. People can't contain themselves on this one, unfortunately, and well, for excitement purposes or to kind of keep the ball rolling, so to speak, I guess it is what it is. But I feel like some of this stuff obviously is sometimes planted, not just in this game, but in other ones, of course. But people just can't help themselves. But they gotta kind of keep people strung along in some fashion, I suppose. But that is what it is. So there you go. If you haven't seen this elsewhere, or if you have, sorry for this. There's no avoiding it. There's no avoiding it at this point. Like I said, I usually don't like doing these kind of things when it comes to that. Again, like to be more pleasantly surprised, but this is where we're at, and this is where we've been at for a while. So anyway, keep an eye out for your mirror jewel, of course, that resets wherever you are in the world, wherever you may see this video. And you should have you should easily have the 10 crests saved up for it. However, now bear in mind, even with the current gem surge event ongoing, is whatever, only for 4 stars. I would definitely say pass probably and save it up for the next one, which is going to be the new 5-star from that point on. So there you go. Anyway, until next time, everybody, stay safe out there in the real world. And far as always, take care of yourselves as best you can, one day at a time. It's all we can do. It's the best we can do for sure. Believe me on that one. Until next time, see ya.